Hi, my name is Laura. When I was 6, I was basically the happiest kid alive. The second I got home, I'd run straight to my hamster Cupcake. Hi there, fluffy boy! He'd usually be busy munching on something and looking at me like I owed him money. But one day, I found his cage empty. Mom! Dad! Where's Cupcake? My parents looked at each other, and I knew right away something was wrong. Mom let out a heavy sigh, like in those movie scenes where someone's about to deliver bad news.
Laura, you're a big girl now. You need to understand that sometimes our furry friends leave us.
Leave us to visit their family. He'll be back soon.
For some reason, Mom rolled her eyes. I stared at Dad, really wanting to believe him. Really?
Of course, sweetheart.
I was 6. I believed him. I mean, dads don't lie, right? But later, I heard my parents' voices.
You can't protect her forever. Laura has to learn how to deal with pain.
Norma, she's too young for heartbreak.
You're living in a fantasy. Ugh. Anyway, I'm heading to yoga.
Again?
Lately, Mom was always at yoga. In the morning, in the evening, and Dad clearly wasn't thrilled about it. That's when I started noticing the cracks. More fights, fewer smiles. It felt like all the happiness just disappeared from our house. And then, out of nowhere, Cupcake was back. I started talking to him, offering him fruit. He used to act like he'd sell his soul for a slice of apple. But now, he didn't even come close. Every day, I felt like something wasn't right. Cupcake just wasn't the same. My fluffy boy, why don't you play with me anymore?
Aren't you going to tell her the truth?
Stay out of it, Norma.
And there they went again. Dad started sleeping on the couch more and more. Mom kept slamming doors and heading off to yoga. And suddenly, she was pregnant. Just like that, everything felt like the good old days again. Dad bought her tea, rubbed her belly, called her my beautiful girl. They even kissed in the kitchen. Ew. I bounced around them like an excited puppy. Am I getting a baby brother or a baby sister? It's a surprise. On the day of the delivery, Dad and I were stuck in the hospital hallway. He kept pacing. I chewed my nails. It's all gonna be okay, right?
Of course, sweetheart.
Finally, the doctor came out. He looked kind of shaken.
Congratulations, you have a healthy baby girl, but...
We didn't even wait for him to finish. We ran straight to the room. Mom was holding the baby, who didn't look anything like Dad. His face went pale, and then a man burst into the room completely out of breath.
I got here as soon as I heard Norma gave birth. And you are? I'm Eddie, Norma's yoga instructor.
Even my 6-year-old brain could piece it together. That's how Dad found out Mom had been cheating. She didn't argue, didn't defend herself. She just lowered her eyes.
Pack your things, Laura. I'm filing for divorce tomorrow.
Am I gonna be one of those kids now? Who has to switch between Mom's house and Dad's house? And then Dad flipped my whole world upside down.
Laura, we need to talk. Norma isn't your mom. She's not related to you at all.
What?
Your mom died when you were 1. I got remarried. I didn't want you growing up thinking you didn't have a mom. I thought it would be better this way.
My world collapsed like a Lego tower. I cried and couldn't stop. Dad just grabbed his head like everything was crashing down on him too.
God, Norma was right. I can't protect you from disappointment forever. Laura, Santa isn't real. The Tooth Fairy isn't either. And Cupcake died, sweetheart. I just bought another hamster. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
That day, everything changed for me. The version of the world where dads don't lie, moms don't cheat, and yoga is just a form of exercise, it was gone. I'm 16 now. Dad and I moved to a different neighborhood. Norma married her yoga instructor, Eddie. At least that's what we heard through random bits of gossip that made their way to us. Dad and I don't talk about the past, but sometimes he just stands by the window, staring into the dark. I'm pretty sure he's thinking about Norma. As for me, after that day, I changed. A lot. I try not to get attached to people anymore, because I know how it goes. People lie, people cheat, people leave. I fence now. I like the rules of it. You lose focus, you lose the match. You trust someone, you get stabbed in the chest. Simple, no surprises. Well, almost none. Because there was Sam. Tall, with dimples, annoyingly charming.
Laura, you destroyed me out there. Again. Think I could get a rematch? Maybe at the movies with popcorn?
I prefer fair fights, not sugar-coated traps. He laughed. Sam was always laughing. He would bring me water, cheer for me at tournaments. He even remembered that I can't stand strawberry protein shakes. but I kept my distance. It's safer that way. I was heading home when I saw a face I recognized. Norma. She was holding her daughter's hand. They both looked like life had hit them hard. They went inside a homeless shelter. My chest tightened. I used to call this woman Mom, and now she had nothing. Norma!
Laura? Wow, you've grown up so much.
She hugged me, then introduced her daughter.
This is Tyra. Say hi, sweetie.
Hi, I like your hair. Oh, I like yours too. Tyra was funny, polite. She looked at me like I was some kind of superhero. Then I asked Norma what happened.
Eddie. He turned out not to be such a great guy. Got himself into debt, and he just disappeared. We had to sell the house to cover everything. Maybe this is karma.
It hurt too much to see Norma like that. So small, so defeated. I said I had somewhere to be and left. I couldn't eat. I couldn't focus on my homework. I kept thinking about Tyra and the way she smiled at me like the world was still a good place. It didn't seem fair that she had to live in a shelter because of her parents' mistakes. When Dad got back from work, I told him everything. Maybe we could help them. We have the space.
I don't even want to hear about Norma.
But Tyra, she didn't do anything wrong.
I said enough.
You're right. We got betrayed once. That's more than enough to know you can't trust anyone. Right then, someone knocked on the door. Sam?
Hey, I just happened to be in the area.
Just happened? You live across town.
Okay, you got me. I just wanted to see you.
That's sweet, but don't do that again.
What did I do wrong, Laura? Why are you so distant?
You didn't do anything wrong. You're great. It's just, sooner or later, everyone lies, and I'm tired of having to put myself back together every time.
I get it.
He nodded, a little too seriously, and left. But I knew that at the next practice, things would go back to normal.
Laura, this is my fault.
What is?
The way you see the world, like it's a minefield. I want you to be a happy kid again.
He paused for a moment, then said he's willing to let Norma and Tyra stay with us for a while. You're serious?
Yes, if it helps you learn to trust people again.
Everything happened fast. Just a couple of days later, Norma and Tyra were in our hallway with 2 suitcases.
I promise we won't be in the way. I'll get a job, find an apartment, and we'll move out as soon as we can.
I gave Tyra some of my old clothes and showed her around. She looked so happy, like she just walked into Disneyland. This is Einstein, this is Luna, and this is Cupcake the Third. Wow, can I pet them? Of course. Once Tyra moved in, the house felt brighter. She ran up and down the stairs, sang in the shower, asked a million questions a minute, and somehow I remembered that I used to be that kind of kid too. It was weird seeing the version of myself I'd lost in someone else. One day, I brought Tyra with me to practice. Something was off with Sam. He didn't even glance at me, like I didn't exist anymore. After practice, this really pretty girl came up to him, kissed him on the cheek. They walked off together, and I felt the sharp sting in my chest, like I'd missed a hit. Laura, you love him, don't you? What? No, I'm happy Sam found a girlfriend. Then why do you look like you just lost? I didn't have an answer. I was the one who pushed Sam away, and now I was jealous. Yeah, irony might as well be my favorite sport. Meanwhile, everything at home started changing fast. Norma cleaned, cooked, fixed the loose buttons on Dad's shirts. Then they began having dinner together. Dad started laughing again. They went on dates. I felt my guard go up. What was supposed to be temporary help was turning into a full-blown disaster. Dad, don't make the same mistake again. Norma lied to you before.
People change, Laura. And besides, weren't you the one who asked me to let them stay?
Temporarily, so Tyra wouldn't have to sleep on some gross shelter mattress. It was for her, not for Norma.
I forgave her. I need a wife. You and Tyra need a complete family. End of discussion.
That's when I realized he'd already made up his mind. A month later, they got married. No ceremony, just rings. Back to being husband and wife. At first, it almost looked right. Norma was quiet and grateful. She stayed out of my business. She moved carefully, like a skilled fencer waiting for the perfect opening.
Honey, don't you think Laura is a little harsh?
She's a teenager. It's a tough phase.
No, it's her personality. Maybe it would be better if Laura spent a year with her grandma at the ranch?
No, her school is here. Her activities are here.
You're right, honey.
She was like a snake slowly tightening around Dad's neck. But I was the only one who saw it. Everyone else saw Norma taking care of us. Meanwhile, the house stopped feeling like it was mine. First, new curtains, then new chairs. Then I started hearing stuff like this from Dad more and more often.
Laura, stop being so harsh. You really are a handful.
I cursed the day I ran into Norma. I only tolerated her because of Tyra. Tyra and I actually got close. We fed the hamsters together, watched trashy shows. She'd tell me all about her school drama, like how Sarah wouldn't let me use the purple marker, as if it were a crime. That day, I was in a terrible mood. I needed to talk to Sam. He used to be the only person who would just listen without judging. After practice, I headed over to him. And right on schedule, his girlfriend popped up next to him. You missed your shot. Stay away from my boyfriend. Wow, you make it sound like you bought him at Target.
Laura, don't.
They grabbed hands and walked off, talking about their plans for the night. I caught something about a karaoke bar on Main Street. You know what I thought? That this girl was a two-faced witch. And sooner or later, she'd hurt Sam. He didn't deserve that. A karaoke bar on Main Street, huh? The idea hit me instantly. If I can't trust people, I can test them. Makes sense, right? The second I walked in, I noticed the hamster cage wasn't there. Panic slammed into me so hard I could barely breathe. Where's my hamsters? I moved the cage to the garage. Animal smell. This house needs fresh air. That was it. The last straw. I wish you'd never come back into our lives. You betrayed my dad once. You'll do it again. I see right through you. You're rotten.
See, Tyra? This is how she really feels about us. She hates us.
Only then did I notice Tyra. She'd heard everything. Her eyes were huge and glossy with tears. I can explain. No, you're mean. Don't come near me. I wanted to punch a hole in the wall. Instead, I brought the hamsters back to my room and headed out to the karaoke bar. I grabbed the table in the back. Sam and his girlfriend were up there singing love songs, laughing the whole time. At some point, a waiter came over.
You're up.
No thanks. I'm here to gather evidence that my friend's girlfriend is fake. Suddenly, the whole room went quiet. Everyone was staring at me, even Sam. I looked down at the mic. It was on. The entire bar had heard me.
You don't want to be with me. You don't want me to be happy with anyone else. So what do you want, Laura?
I just...
Maybe stop hiding behind your childhood trauma. Grow up. Move on.
Every word hit dead center. He took his girlfriend's hand and they left. And I just sat there, feeling small. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe my trust issues are what hurt people. What if Dad and Norma actually loved each other, and I was the one wrecking everything? I was almost out the door when I heard someone call my name.
Laura, you probably don't remember me. I'm Tyra's dad.
I recognized him, and just like that, anger flared in my chest. You don't get to call yourself her father. Because of you, they ended up in a homeless shelter.
What? Who told you that?
Norma.
Should have known. Laura, that's not what happened. We got married. Things were fine. Then Norma cheated on me too. Got involved with some shady thug. She mortgaged the house to help her boyfriend pay off his debts. But it still wasn't enough. Then she tried to stage an accident for me so she could cash in on my life insurance. But the guy bailed, and I left because I was scared for my life.
What about Tyra?
I tried to take her. Norma threatened to frame me, send me to jail if I ever came near my daughter. Norma is dangerous. She's probably already looking for her next victim.
She already found one. The pieces snapped into place. Dad had just taken out a life insurance policy. Norma wanted to ship me off to the ranch. She didn't want any witnesses. I have to go. I sprinted home, calling him over and over. Nothing but endless ringing. Then I got a call from an unknown number.
Laura Wilson?
Yes?
Your father has been in an accident. Lost control of the vehicle. I'm very sorry.
I sank right onto the pavement. I was crying so hard people started staring. I didn't care.
The house greeted me with silence. Tyra stood there, shifting from foot to foot.
Laura, I need to tell you something.
You sure? Norma showed up about an hour later. There was a smug smile on her lips. Dad was in an accident.
I know. I'll be getting his life insurance soon.
You're going to your grandma's. I'm selling the house. It's mine now. I know you cut the brakes.
And who's going to prove it? No one will ever know what really caused the crash, just like no one ever found out what happened to your first hamster.
That's when I knew for sure. She was a monster. I wanted to lunge at her. Instead, I straightened up. You messed up. First, Tyra saw you messing with the car. She already told the detectives. And second...
Who said I was dead?
Norma went pale. Right behind my dad, the police walked in and arrested her for attempting to arrange an accident. The monster ended up in a cage. After the trial, her real father took Tyra to live with him. We can still be sisters. And Tyra, don't lose your light. One bad person shouldn't make you give up on everyone.
I'm gonna miss you.
I'll miss you too.
I've been thinking. Maybe we should move.
That's actually a great idea. Are you okay?
My head still hurts, but I'll live.
I meant your heart. Dad didn't answer, and I knew that wound would take a lot longer to heal. We packed up, found an apartment in Miami, and we're ready to start over. I just wanted to say goodbye to one person. To tell him I was sorry I let my trust issue cost me a good guy. But I was scared to walk up to him. What do you think? Should I try to talk to Sam, or just leave it alone?